What happened to a neglected 1883 Ohio house is a crime that its mystery writer, owner, is only too happy to investigate. There's more to hear if walls could talk. Hello, I'm Grant Goodeve. Welcome to If Walls Could Talk. On a pleasant tree-lined street in Akron, Ohio, there's an old house under intense investigation. The place has committed no crime. It's simply the victim of neglect. And the owner of the house is using the tools of his trade to bring the 1883 home back to life. Bill Flem is a mystery writer, and his house has turned out to be one of the toughest cases he's ever tried to crack. But Bill is determined to solve his own history mystery. It's almost a storybook setting on a cobblestone street. But there was something shady about this house in Akron, Ohio. Its potential was almost overshadowed by its terrible condition.
The house wasn't abused, but neglected. The house was filthy inside when I bought it. We had to do a lot of cleaning.
But Bill Flem could see through the shadows and suspected the house was hiding a lot of history. Bill decided to live in the house for a while before he and his roommates started restoring it. That's when he started looking and listening for clues.
This house really did speak to me. I started to find things right away.
In fact, his first project, installing a new fence and gate, helped him find a pathway to the past.
I took my shovel and sunk it into the ground. But the problem is it didn't go into the ground, and within a very short period of time, I uncovered an original sidewalk that goes directly to the gate that I had just installed. And that's, I believe, when the house actually first began to speak to me. It was one of my first projects, and I learned then to listen to what the house had to say.
The old mossy sidewalk inspired even more snooping.
I'm a mystery writer, and I have to admit that I have a very creative mind, and I'm looking for that kind of thing.
Once he started using his eyes and his ears, the house didn't seem to stop talking. Bill just had to examine the evidence. And that's how he found a hidden fireplace. He saw the signs that helped him solve the case of the missing mantle.
When I saw the ghost of the mantel shelf, and when I saw that the hearth had been pulled out, I decided to investigate, and I took a hammer and I busted a hole into the wall, and what I found was the back of the firebox.
As the restoration continued, Bill and his roommate were excited to find another room with a clue, where the writing was on the wall, literally.
We had to strip the wallpaper off of this, and we found that a decorator had left his signature. And he signed it Herbert Reading, decorator, August 13th, 1913, and he also left his address on there. Here we are with our hands getting into the renovation project, and to come across the signature of someone else who was working on it, it was kind of like connecting with them.
Bill was still missing a connection to the original owner. He didn't know who built his house, and he was hoping to find out who done it. His research led him to a man named Mandus Bauman, and back to 1883, when his neighborhood was farmland and his house was outside the Akron city limits. Another owner eventually divided the farm up into smaller parcels, but still left a large legacy of land.
One of the nice things he did that we are appreciating is the selfish parcel he gave himself. The back garden is large.
Bill has made many finds on his property, possibly because he is always fishing around for more clues.
The yard is an adventure and treasure hunting. What's real exciting is to find something like a coin, because it has a date on it. And when I found the coin from 1883, that was probably my most thrilling object that I have found out here yet. There is a part of me that is looking for that mystery, trying to solve that mystery. And so I dig pretty deep, sometimes literally.
And digging deep is how Bill found a big old stone buried in the backyard.
I still wonder what that stone was for, even to this day. It makes a great step up to this porch. But there is a part of me that wonders if there was a carriage house or a barn or some outbuilding that stone was a part of.
Under Bill's care, the outside of the house is beginning to blossom again. And inside, the immaculate interior is a reflection of all the time Bill has spent working on the house.
I wanted to bring this house back to what it may have been like in the 1880s, and it's a bit of a struggle because I don't have photographs, so I'm letting the house talk to me.
And so far, the house has told him volumes. A chapter of history with a happy ending. Bill feels he has a few more leads he needs to follow up on. For instance, who is the decorator who signed the wall and left his address? Bill drove to the address and found an empty lot. But his investigation isn't over yet. Bill feels his house is an open book with a lot of history left to write. Stay with us. If Walls Could Talk, care of HGTV, Box 50970, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37950. Be sure to include the episode number and your daytime phone number.